Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today I bank off being joined once again by... So Fluff has returned, and I got Jake here because Jake kind of jumped into the conversation last week about it. So, Jake and Fluff.
What's going on, y'all?
What's up, beautiful people?
And Jake, I know it was a surprise last week. We've had some conversations. Do not talk about Fluff being back.
Oh, okay.
So,
It's a secret for now.
Yes. So today's matchup is Fluff versus Tanner. Tanner could not join us today, unfortunately, but he is playing Nick's Surge Broly deck, while Fluff is playing the Gotenks that he played against me last week, because we couldn't record until a couple days later. So let's get into it.
So Surge Broly is a deck that I have actually been experimenting with a little bit recently, just because it is so popular at our locals, and it just looks like it's really fun to pilot. So I wanted to try it out. So I feel like I'm better equipped to comment on a game that I'm actually not part of than I normally would be. And this is just a pretty standard open from Surge Broly. The Charge Pass, the Gentleman's Open, as we used to call it back in Set 8.
If I'm correct, you and Nick have a very similar... There's a loud buzzing. A similar build in the sense where you both have similar tech. How about that? That's a better word for it, like with the Vegeta and whatnot.
Yeah, we play a few cards different, but overall, I based my list on his, and then introduced a couple tech choices, that he ended up liking, and he ended up implementing them in his list as well. So
you were doing your usual, taking someone's deck, making it slightly better in hopes that they improve on it so you can improve on it again.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like a parasite. Like from the maximum. I make you better, but I'm also like stealing half of your body.
So, Fluff.
Yes, sir.
Going from playing... So you played me first round. Do you remember who you played second round this particular week?
Second round was Jason, I believe.
Okay. So kind of going from... What did he play again? It wasn't the... Was it Soul Striker?
Jason was playing his Soul Striker thing.
Okay. So you went from a prison to a heavily resource to a heavily, resource, but in a different manner deck. How did it kind of feel going up against Surge Broly?
I love and hate the relationship that I have with Surge Broly. Some of the best games that I've ever played have been against Surge Broly decks. I don't know what it is, but there's something about my body that just attracts that Raditz secret rare. So I'm having PTSD the entire time that I'm playing this match because I'm just expecting that Raditz to drop once we get to turn 5.
You kind of feel like if you go to 2 life, you're just dead.
Yes, instantly dead.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And I know Tanner's got it picked up reading it right now, but this 2-drop Vegeta is actually one of the tech cards that Nick and I have been implementing recently. This thing puts in so much work, and I feel like it's been pretty much ignored outside of its intended archetype. It's an SR out of set 15, and it's dual attack. If your leader card is green at the end of the turn, it's going to restand. It also blocks. It's deflect, and if your opponent has 5 or more cards in there, or 5 or less cards in their hand, it ignores energy exhaust. So if you go second, and your opponent charges an energy, plays a card, and swings lead, they'll have 5 cards in hand, presuming that their leader draws. So almost every game, you can play this Vegeta turn 1 if you go second in active mode in your energy.
Jake, I don't pay you to be smart about this game. I just pay you to stand around and look like an enforcer. Okay, I don't need you coming on here. I'm assuming we're recording right now, which is a little unfortunate that you're spewing this type of stuff.
You could you could look at the channel you're jumping in. But what's up, Jimmy? How are you?
I don't have to read.
Jimmy,
the champ does not have to. What do you want?
We are recording with. This is Dalton's match. Remember?
This is Dalton's match?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, you big stupid idiot? You remember?
Are you still in Chris Jericho's gimmick now, bro? You for fucking real right now, dude? This is gimmick infringement.
I might be. But you want to come up in here talking to Jake about talking like he has something intelligent to say, then you come up here spewing your stupid shit. You want to come up here
I pay
spewing
Jake.
stupid
Jake is
stuff?
my accountability buddy. If we're
Yeah,
talking
I
about
bet.
gimmick infringement, he's my Wardlow.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes.
Bancroft, am I accountability buddy both of this?
That is your call. Well, okay.
Oh, no.
Look, real quick, I just want to say a few things. Let us focus on the match. Yes, Jimmy Dalton was fluffed the entire time, but I see a Piccolo Jr. on the board with a counterplay card.
This is the worst day of my life.
Yeah, this was a big mistake on my end. I shouldn't have counterplayed that Piccolo. I just didn't want the Piccolo to be creating pressure against me. I probably should have held that secret rare until a later stage in this match. But I wanted to go on ahead and get the pressure on the field as soon as I could.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to not play a 40k crit for 1 energy.
Oh, you've also already used your power of a Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah.
Man, this is a big kind of like counter-ish play, reactive turn for you.
Yeah, which is, I'm basically trying to just like stem the bleeding here. That Piccolo puts in so much work against Yellow, and really that Vegeta is really good against Yellow as well.
Yeah, being the awkward 16k size, at least natively on the Piccolo, it just makes it really difficult for, or is Piccolo 19? Either way,
Piccolo's
they're awkward
16.
sizes. Yeah. So, I don't know. In my experience, Yellow kind of has trouble because it's a 16k. You don't want to spend a negate or like a tap down card on it, but you're still going to have to combo to get out of it. It's just awkward.
And I want to kind of talk about this just in case it comes up in the comments. Nick uses because like the Tanner is playing Nick's deck. Nick uses the Paragus Super Combos, which is draw 2 Warp 1. So pretty much anytime Tanner saw those field cards in his hand, he immediately just charged them. They're dead cards in his hand. He has no way to put them back in his deck, or even I don't think he has a way of actually like discarding them using effects like Topo and stuff like that. So after 2 charges, then finally getting a Gotenk combo with and still having one in his deck must have felt really nice for him.
Yeah, I'm unclear on whether Nick plays 3 or 4 copies.
I cannot remember off the top of my head.
There was actually a game that I had with Jimmy this past weekend where I was playing Surge Broly, where I had 1 dormant in the drop area, 1 in my energy, and I go to combo with Goten, and no dice. Last one was hanging out in the life somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I did pay you to, whiff air quotes on that. Just, throwing that out there. I'm trying to still make you look good in this situation too, Jake. Even though you seem a little too buddy with Fluff, and Fluff isn't even number 1 contender right now.
Did you make it worth Jake's while so you could win?
Yeah, he gave me the old Hernandez, $20 and a McDonald's cheeseburger.
Wow, is that all it takes?
I mean, that's all Hernandez offers.
True.
Just kidding.
In Minecraft.
Yeah, in Minecraft. There's only bribery in Minecraft.
I can't afford another feud on this channel. This one's already giving me gray hairs.
Do people even feud with us? Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like we're in a feud with any channels.
No, channel. This is a civil war, Jake. You not seeing the issue?
Ooh, can I be Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, Spider-Man's a
be.
bitch.
Sweet.
I mean, it works out perfectly. I'm Tony Stark. I'm giving you a bunch of money to do some fuck shit, and I don't know. Like I'll have a heart attack or something.
You are nothing akin to a Playboy billionaire philanthropist.
You want to try that again?
No.
You are nothing akin to a Playboy billionaire philanthropist.
So we're about 2/3 into the match, and he is trying to get you down to 2 life, I feel like, because he has a dual attack on board that still restands and playing a lot of big cards. which will help. Is that neg 15 or 20? I can't remember on play.
It's 15.
Okay.
15.
Jake, I'm not paying you to be smart. You're supposed to feed me the information, then I'll say it, okay?
Oh.
He's trying really hard to get me down to 2 here. And I know I don't want to go down to 2, so I'm not unless I absolutely have to.
Do you remember if you had any negates at this moment?
I didn't have any negates, or I would have used them. Well, that's a lie. I probably should have used that 1 attack sooner instead of going down to 2. I felt very comfortable about my position here just because of all the pressure that I have on the field and the number of cards that are in his hand. The only thing that's going to stop me here is going to be a Violent Ray. So he did leave his energy open, like he has a Violent Ray in his hand. So I feel like I'm able to also adequately keep cards off of his side of the field outside of that blocker.
Also on a side note, I think last turn he oh yeah, there it is.
Oof.
I think he forgot to use the 6-drop Broly's auto, because doesn't that get rid of combo cards as well?
It does.
He forgot
if
it.
you remember it.
Yeah, if you remember it.
Because it's you, May.
So not having your counterplay cooler really sucked that moment. Oh, you only played 1 at the time too, didn't you?
Only played 1 at the time.
Because you've updated the deck since then, and I think you have a 2 up now. So yeah, having that 1 in your... Man, that would have came in clutch in that moment.
Oh, for sure.
Here, I'm just trying to waste his resources. He's keeping... I think he's got 2 cards left in his hand. And I felt like had he had the secret rare, he would have played it on me last turn. So I'm confident that the 2 cards in his hand aren't the secret rare. But I'm worried about hitting his life
And giving
him the secret rare. The problem is that had I done that, had I hit his life and comboed up so that he couldn't have he would have had to have taken that life, he wouldn't have been able to use the secret rare. So that was my mistake.
And had you, like, swung with the Unison, got a life, swung with the token, and then comboed off all your Turleses, he just would have detached a material and blew it up, because he's still sitting on 2 materials right here.
Yeah.
And if correct, I saw his hand earlier. There was no secret rare there at the time. Let's see what happens here. So I know you're worried about it. I don't think he drew into it. So
Yeah, so I have another opportunity to kind of crack back and try to kill him here. Again, he's going for Piccolo, it looks like.
yeah, Piccolo is so good. Because it just has to be a red leader if it's correct. It doesn't specify, mono red or anything like that. So just
Exactly.
giving the extra draw resources for this deck, because once you awaken, you don't have that anymore.
Yeah. It's becomes super important to hit these Piccolos on the backside, unless you have an alternative draw source in your deck.
Here we had a ruling question about whether the Piccolo would keep his power buff or not with his skills negated. And the answer to that is that it would, because that's already happened. Which I'm going to have to then combo an additional card to get out of this, which is fine.
I mean, he still has to open 2 red open energy. Using board support compared to hand support, just in case he does have another Violent Ray, isn't a bad idea.
Yeah, and that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that he's got a Violent Ray coming up.
And especially with this Unison you've got, cards in your hand, even bad ones, become potentially better than like a dead battle card on the board. So I think that was a good combo overall.
There it is, yeah.
Another Violent Ray, yeah. I'm really wishing that I had a way to tap that Nappa super combo.
So you're telling me you're playing yellow and you couldn't find a way to tap one single card?
Yeah, it turns out having Power of the Super Saiyan to 1 makes it really hard to tap that often.
That's why you cheat and just run 4. You're just not championship material. That's what we're establishing here.
I'm just refusing to cheat. I refuse to be a piece of shit.
I mean, I never said you had to be a piece of shit to cheat.
Well, it's not what I heard.
Piece of shits play yellow, play good yellow cards.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, good yellow. It's good.
Yeah, I like yellow.
You play Frieza. Shut up, Jake.
I know.
I'm trying to figure out how I want to move forward, because I've got him on no cards in hand. So do I take the life risk giving him the secret rare, or do I just pass? Like, how do I move forward in this turn? And the answer to this would have been I should have taken his life. I should have comboed up enough so that he has to take life off of this attack regardless of what he draws.
Yeah, Unisons are pretty strong against Surge Broly because they can't rely on that material to attach, and especially after Violent Rays, your Unison attack is really at a premium.
Yep.
And
yep.
It's happened. Like, I always forget that part of the secret rare, the scrambling assault. No, scrambling assault, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That you have to crit one of your own. Is it crit? Something like that. You have to take one of your own life first in order to get that off.
Yep. And I've got him at 2, and if I just take him to 1 here, I pretty much guarantee that the secret rare doesn't come into play. But I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about just not giving him the secret rare to begin with. Because, like I said, my luck against Surge Broly is that if I deal a damage to him, he gets the secret rare, and I wasn't thinking about the fact that if I take him down to 1, he can't use the effect without killing himself.
Especially because it looks like you're at 3 or 2 right here.
I'm at 2.
Would that be a draw if he played it then?
No, because if I'm correct, it's part of the cost to do the effect. And once you go down to 0 life, and Jimmy could correct me on this, but once you go down to 0 life, the game's over. So you only get a chance to finish your auto.
Once one player reaches 0 life, that's when the game ends. Dead on the spot.
Okay, that makes sense. Makes it a little bit easier to rule that card too.
So here, you're just doing what good yellow does in this case, especially with these new Turtles cards with a Saiyan leader. Just board controlling. Like you mentioned earlier, he has no cards in hand right now. So there's his draw.
And as is my luck, against Surge Broly, he gets the secret rare.
Drawing top decking that must have
Yep.
You deserve that.
I did deserve that. Yep. That one kind of hurts my feelings, but I deserve that.
That's rough. Especially with that huge board you've got.
Yep.
It's what Violent Ray does. And like I said, charging the cooler did hurt you in the late game.
Yep.
But with that being said, as you can tell, this was...
Well, actually, with that being said...
Before we go into outros and your little rant, this was the last week's finale, so Tanner did take last week's tournament, which is congrats to Tanner for coming back. Do whatever you guys want to do now.
Well, I was going to say that, but I think what this shows is that Fluff is no longer number 1 contender. Tanner is. And he doesn't even live in this fucking state. He doesn't even come out and play with us anymore, so it looks like nobody can contest me. Not a single person at the shop can contest me now.
Only problem is that I've beaten you plenty of times before in the past.
It doesn't matter. I won the ones that mattered.
You've won the one that mattered.
You can be Jericho since you wanted to gimmick infringement. You won the title at All Out, but now I'm the Hangman Page now. I redeemed myself. And Jericho's not in the title picture. He never will be.
Hey, I never said I was Jericho. I just called you a stupid idiot. But anyways, read your cards, know your plays. Let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to. And as always, fluff out.